Okay, everybody, what we want to do now is play a game. I hope this is at a time when playing a game would be fun and refreshing and get you to move around and have some energy and interaction. This is called the We Can game. The We Can game. We are in a moment, as you know, in the church when there's a lot we feel like we can't do, right? Stuff we used to do that we don't know if we can do anymore, or we lose so much that made us able, and now we're unable, and so we can't. And so this game is for people who are feeling like we can't. And this game is to remind us that we can. And for our theology, this is a reminder that our God has not forsaken us or abandoned us, and that grace is still abundant and is available and has already been given to us in measures that we cannot even imagine. And so the We Can game is very simple, split into two groups. And so you'll have maybe groups, I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 15 people, two groups. And Karen will have for you a Ziploc bag with cards inside the bag. Just kind of sit in a circle. And what I want you to do is open that bag up, and you're going to find inside the bag a bunch of cards that have words on them like this. And on these have not been cut out, but you have cut out cards. And go ahead and pass those around your group. You're in two groups, and I want you to pass those around. Everybody can have, like, I don't know, 10 of those cards. You can kind of look at them a little bit. And the object of the game is to have four different categories that you can put these cards into. So you should also find four cards that are a little larger. One of those says we can. One of those says we know someone who can. One of those says we can't. And one of those says, I think, like, we love to, or I love to do something. You can put that to the side. So it's really these three things. And what you're trying to do is, when you have your stack of cards, read them to just your group of people. And I want you to answer to that thing. So right here, I have drive a van. If you can drive a van, then you say, we can do that. I got that. I know how to drive a van, like with other people in it safely, right? And so that goes in the we can section. There might be a few of these as you go through them where you say, I can't do that, and realize no one else in your group can do that. And so we know someone who can is only if you actually know a person who not only could do that thing, but they would. Like, you could call them or text them and they would do the thing on that card. And if that's true, put that in the we know someone who could. And then if you don't know anyone who could and you can't as a group, put that in the we can't group. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So just kind of do this rapid fire, go around the circle, each of you reading the things, making those stacks, and then come back after you've done all of that. Now, before we start, hold on. Before we start, I want to designate one or two people in each group to be a connection person. And what your job is, so somebody volunteer right now, raise your hand. I'll be the connection person. Who is that? Okay. So you have your connection person, and this person is just paying attention as you do all these we cans. Where are their connections? Like, where are there groups of things that are similar that we can do? Where are there things that maybe, well, if you can do that, then they could do that, and we could do something more than either of those things? Does this make sense? And so I want you to be thinking about connections. And at the end of the game, I want the connection person to share their observations. So go ahead and do the we can portion. Pause this instructional video, and then I will come back and give you the rest of the instructions. Go ahead and do the we can game. Okay. Hopefully you have now done the we can game. You've gone through there, and I'm curious what your stack looks like. I am not in the room with you, but I'm willing to guess that almost all of the cards are in the we can stack, and that you might have a few cards in the we know someone who can. And it's doubtful. There may be a card, maybe two, that are in the we can't section of that. And so I want to ask, first of all, and Karen, you can lead through this. What do you feel right now? What does it feel like after going through that game? And then I want you to talk about what kind of possibilities this has made you think about for God's kingdom. And then I'd like the connection person, the person who I designated as a connection person. What connections did you notice as you were doing this? So those are three questions. And then finally, After you've done that, there should be some blank cards. They look like this, right? They have a blank spot. So I just want you to take one or two of those cards, if you can find them, and write something that you love to do that was not mentioned in the We Can game. This is not that big of a deal, but I want you to experience what it's like to write down something you love to do that you could contribute to a community, and be a part of God's kingdom in that way. Okay? So that is the We Can game. I hope it was wonderful. Just a reminder, that should take about 20 to 25 minutes at the most. And I hope you got a lot out of it. Thank you so much for doing it. This is something, if you'd like more information from me, I can get you this game. It's free. You can do it in your church. You can do it in a Sunday school class, a committee meeting. You could do it with neighbors. That's what I'd really, really like you to do, is do it with some neighbors and community leaders. But thank you so much for playing the We Can game. I hope it has encouraged you.